Hello guys, it's Paula and I am here on Sunday evening ready to do the next part of our collage book. Now we're getting super close, too close to stop now. We've got this, let me get over. We actually don't have that one, it's not in the leftover. Here, we've got this much left. Okay, and I've folded a lot of them already, except the last couple pages, so that I could see where I could take out more. And I did, and we're good so far. So this is the last page we did. We did it where we folded 2 pockets in and made 1 pocket that's a 2-way pocket. And I did ink everything, and we got it all finished. I put embellishments in it. Oh, looks like I forgot to ink that side. Well, we better ink it. We don't want whoever ends up with it to not have it inked. So, yeah. So, got that all nice and inked. And it goes into this pocket. I added some Tim Holtz vine. A Tim Holtz vine right there at the top of that pocket. Added one of my ribbons from my Digis and a flower here and some old doily. And then I put this journaling card in and a label and this wreath. Okay, and the one before was our beautiful birds. I think you guys remember that one. Yes. So today, and I'm going to tell you whose paper we're using today. It is from Shabba Dabba Doo Dah. Shabba Dabba Doo Dah. Just like it sounds. Okay, is the primary paper. The secondary paper is Artie Mae's. Okay, so let's get busy. Now I've had a busy day, and yesterday was busy. And I just was plumb worn out yesterday and just could not do a video. I was like, I can't do anything. I'm exhausted. So this is the main paper we're using. It's just a mix of florals. And I can't remember how much it was, but it was like $2 or something. Or maybe even less than that. Okay, so our prices are reasonable. Let me move this out of the way. Trying to get as much as possible out of my way. Okay, so here we go. Now, our book, of course, is just getting bigger every day. And so I'm looking here because I don't even remember what I'm doing. Oh, we have a side pocket, a solid page, and a side pocket. So I think I'll put the floral over here. And maybe another floral here, and then Artie Mae's, or I may just flip them around. So let's just see what we end up doing. I'm getting all the white torn off the edges, and yeah. Get that all torn off. So I hope you guys had a great weekend. I like I said, had a busy one. I went to church this morning at my daughter's church to see her speak. And so she's actually spoke at this same event last year. But my daughter can speak, she can sing, she can preach, she can act. She's just multi-talented in that way, and she's a great mom and wife and a very great daughter. So we're proud of her. Okay, now I'm thinking on here, we're going to add something onto this flower. Don't ask me what. Right now, I don't know. But I do want to... I think I want to do it long ways. So let's do it like this. Let me find where it is going to end so we don't have to even worry about not finding that area. Okay, right here. Now see, I'm thinking this would look good inside this pocket. It's just the right size, you know? And then this is going to go right here. Now, again, I'm doing a solid piece here. But we'll come up with some kind of something to decorate it. Now I'm going to cut this other side. It's hard to. The book has gotten so full that it's hard to, you know, maneuver everything on this teensy tiny table. That's what it feels like to me, teensy tiny. So I'm going to lay this right here, and we're going to put glue straight down on this paper because we want to make sure we have plenty of time to get the paper on there before any of the glue dries. So this is how I like to do it when I'm doing a solid sheet, if possible. I've learned through doing this book that you have to be pretty quick laying your paper down. So let's see. And I'm just not stopping. I'm just going over it. I'm trying to get all the edges and stuff too. So as much as I can. Of course, I usually have to go back and operate on the edges and make them hold better. But mostly because I don't want whoever ends up with it to have a book that doesn't hold together. And trust me, this book, it has got so much glue in it, I can't imagine it going anywhere. Now, you might have a corner or something turn up every now and then. I just add a little bit of my glitter glue in those areas because it's easy to get the tip under the paper after it's been glued down. So there, see, that looks pretty, doesn't it? Now, I want to take this paper right here and trying to decide which way I want to do this. I think I want to do it. Let's tear this little end off. It's driving me crazy. It's not going the right direction. And it's confusing my brain. And we can't do that. Okay, so I'm going to put this paper on this page like this. And I'm going to tear this other end off. And I want to take some of not Artie Mae's, but Mrs. Coggs, maybe some of her images, if I can find some over here in my box, of some of her images that, let me see where I need to tear this, because we got to be able to slip it under the book pocket. The book pocket. Okay, so I'm just marking here so that I can tear it. Let's see there. I was trying to make sure I was on the right one. Kind of gets where the papers kind of overlap. Let's see. Just like that. And you just need to tear up. I marked it with a pencil right on each end where the pocket's glued down, because if you tear it just in far enough for your glue to spread out for your pocket, just like that, you can put it under your pocket. That's something I learned from doing these videos on this book. Now, I'm trying to think in my head. You guys think about it and let me know what you would do. I'm thinking I want to do the outside when we're done. We've got to decorate the outside. And we have to have some white lace on it for sure, somewhere. Look at that. Yes, looks great. It actually worked. So I haven't decided how I want to decorate the front. I probably will take one of my favorite digital since I started the videos. Which one did I fall in love with the most? I'll have to go back and really think about it, because honestly, I love them all. And I've used, it seems like, something from everybody. And that's why I had not listed any of them as we've gone along, because I was just going to list everybody. You know, it's hard for me to just, I would be constantly looking up digitals because I've been using a combination of papers in everything I've done. Okay, it's hard to just use one person's paper unless you're lucky enough to have 2 or 3 sheets that look good together. Now I'm trying to get this down in here. It went in there much easier when it didn't have glue on it. Okay, so that's not perfect, but it's collage, so it's perfect to me. Now I got to get my scissors because I got some hanging off I don't want hanging off. Not much, just a little right in there. Yeah, so there we go. Now we've got our main base down. Okay, and now I want to use one of Artie Maze's just like extra sheets that she has made with her kits. Okay, let me get here. Now, I'm looking and I'm thinking which one of these would look the best. You don't want something that overpowers. I feel like the pink overpowers the floral, so the dark pink. So let's take it away. And that leaves us with the blue and this blue and this pink. And if I look at the blue and the pink in these pages, the blue is not an exact color as the blue in the floral, but it's so close that, let's see what this one looks like. I'm finding the very light. No, that's the peach. Peach is really pretty, isn't it? Got the peach, we've got the pink, and I think I just ran into another pink. I don't remember her having this, not fuchsia, but it's more of a lavender pink. I think that's exactly what we need, because these flowers that are appearing blue on camera probably are really kind of a lavender with white, and it just makes them almost look gray. So we're going to use this. Now, I think this will be perfect for what we need to do. Now I'm going to rip this page off at the side, and then I'll take some off the top so that we can just kind of decide how much we need. Oh, stay on there. Don't you just hate that when it comes off? Everything's going great, and now you got some crooked paper. Okay, so it's not bad enough that I'm worried about it. Okay, so we need to tear here where the pocket stops, which is, I'm kind of feeling of it. It's right there, right here on that side, and right here on this side. And again, you do it however is easiest for you. This is just me laying it down here and just guessing. There is no measuring in collage. That's what I tell myself. You don't measure, you slap it down, hope it fits. If it doesn't fit, hey, it's collage. So now I've got this up here at the top, right where I want it. And so now we need to tear down here, right where we need to tear. And voila. Look at that. Yes, that's perfect. So now I'm going to do the same way. I'm going to put the glue straight down on here, because when you're using big sheets, now, you know, I'm using big sheets in this book because there are so many sheets, right? And I want it to coordinate in colors, and I want everything to work together. Okay. Now, let's put this right here. I'm going to line it up along this pocket, just where you can't really read the words, but you see the words. I try not to go down into the spine right there because it wants to pop up. So I think I'm going to kind of pop that up a little bit. I got it a little bit too long. And I'm going to try to tear that. Am I being too brave? If it won't tear without tearing something up, then I will use my scissors. Keep your fingers crossed. I don't want to use the scissors because then I'll have to clean them up. You guys ever do that? Oh, I can't do that. I'll have to clean up the mess. Well, if you could see my craft room right now. I told my husband I feel like I'm building with blocks. Things just get taller and taller. Crazy. So Papa took Charlie and Lucy last night to see Spider-Man. Charlie was so involved, he didn't even stop to go to the restroom, if you know what I mean. They get ready to leave, and he was as wet can be. And my husband was like, Charlie, why is your pants wet? I don't know. But all he kept doing was telling Papa about the movie like Papa wasn't there. It was so precious. So how can you get on to him when he loves Spider-Man? He's only 6. He's a little 6, so he can get away with an accident now and then. Okay, so I've got that. I'm going to see if I can grab up some of Mrs. Cog's images. I feel like I just cut a bunch of those, and give me just a second. I'm going to look through this box. You might be thinking, why didn't you do that before the video? Because I couldn't talk it out with you guys. I think she is in. I've got to get a file going on all my cut stuff. Do you ever just feel like I have cut and cut and cut and cut and cut and cut and cut? I've loved every minute of it since I've started doing digitals. I haven't always done digitals. This is some of hers. And this is some of hers right there. Those are the ones we're going to pick from. So I'm thinking, why not matte the page with this darker pink? Or a blue. You know, let me get the blue out too. I mean, we can do whatever we want. I just want it to I want it to color coordinate at this point because, well, it'll look better, right? And I wanted to use this, so I didn't match that at all, did I? That was what I thought I'd use in the next video, but I had to change. Let's see, let me pull these out, and we'll look at them together. We don't need anything yellow, so I'm going to put that back in. Let's see what some of these big ones are. Ooh, I just think that's precious. Now, we can take these pictures and we can make pockets. We can do whatever we want with them. I love her dress because it has lavender, but I don't like the darkness right here. It's too dark. Look at the little girl feeding the ducks. It's a little on the dark side too. So we're going to pass on those two. Let's see what other big ones I have. Too much green. Precious. We'll hang on to this one if we decide we want to make a pocket, right? Okay, so the thing about Mrs. Cog is she always has beautiful images. So I will leave her link below also. Now, see, I'm thinking, why not put more images on here than one big image, right? Those two look like they were made to go together. But I don't know yet. Let me see. I like that. I'm just going to lay them there, and we're going to look at different ones. Look at this beautiful little girl. How precious. She's holding a dove. I really like that. Let's leave that there for now. Look at this little girl. She's got bluebirds flying in front of her. This is another one I think is precious. Let's leave it there too. And look at this. How can we not use that, right? And look, this one is really awesome because in the background you've got pink and blue dresses and of course little sweet girl. Little sweet girl. Let's see what else we've got here that would look perfect with the paper. And yes, we are building our page around the paper. And that's not normally how I approach things, but it is this time. Okay, so we've got, I love this picture. I've used it already in this book. That's the same little girl. This is pretty too, with the two ladies. Okay, let me see. No yellow. I'm going to pick this yellow out as we go along. That is sweet too, isn't it? For some reason, that has a lot of yellow in the background. Here's another adorable one. I'm going to take this one out because that yellow just is not what needs to go. This is kind of cool too. Mr. and Mrs. All right. Oh my goodness, look at that one. Mrs. Cog, you just do beautiful work. Okay. Oh, I love that too. Now, I don't know which ones of these. It's probably mother and daughter, or I don't know. These are all mixed up. These I have been working from for some time. So I can't tell you exactly what kit, but what I can tell you is when you get in there, you're not going to want to go straight to one kit. You're going to want to look at everything she has, because it is, all of her stuff is breathtaking. Okay, so we've gone through this stack. And I like this one with the mother and the little boy and his dog. That is a neat one. This one's I like, but it's the yellow that I don't like. This one is fun with the... So what I think I'm going to do is choose some of my favorites, put them out here. I could be here all day otherwise. I think we'll go with the children. I just think I feel like loving on some of the children. Okay, let's see. And I think that I really like these two right here for this. And I'm going to mat them. Okay. Now over here, I really wanted something big enough that we could put a... I had one here a second ago I thought would be pretty with a mom. Look at that. Oh, that needs to be in there. Oh my goodness. I can never decide. This is sweet because it's two little girls, but it does have a dark background. And this one is sweet because it's a mom and her son. And so we could turn it and do it as a pocket. So I want boys and girls in here. These are the two girls I have chosen. And maybe this is the brother. Okay, so I'm going to pick these up. You just have to make a decision, right? You just have to make a decision. Or this one. And that takes all the adults out of the equation. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to have grown-ups in this picture of precious children. Not today. Okay, so I'm moving my book back over so you can see better. I'm putting up these photos here so I don't spill them somewhere. Okay. Let me look in this bag. This is Mrs. Cog's also. I just want to make sure we're not missing anything over the moon. Well, everything she does is, but these are all floral and different flowers. Okay, so we're not going to use those. We're going to use these. Now, I want to take some of the blue and the pink. First, we're going to use the pink to mat these little girls. Now, I'm not going to use a trimmer. I'm going to try to do it straight. Pray for me, because I don't know how straight. That one's already straight, and so is that one. Okay, now, I'm going to take it and glue it down like I were matting for an album. Okay, do you see what I'm saying? I do, I also do scrapbooking and album making. And so, and I do take orders for that. So it's not cheap though. And it's not because I want it to not be cheap. It's just, it's very, very time consuming. Okay, so I want to ink around this photo so that, you know, I know for sure it will get inked. And one of the reasons I picked this one and the other one of this little girl is because one is looking at a bird with her hands in a praying position, and one is really consumed with this flowers the flowers right here, and they're similar shapes. Okay, and then I'm going to cut out the mat. We're going to put glue on the back here. Now, I don't normally use glue stick when I do albums, but it is acid free, so you could do whatever you wanted. This one I think has gotten really soft. Look at that. Look at that big chunk. That's crazy. I gotta pull some of that off. I'm gonna use that. Let me move it. I'm telling you, one day I'm gonna sit down and do a video and you guys are gonna all fall over when I have my table cleaned off. One of these days. I didn't say when. Just said one of these days. So I'm gonna line these photos up with about 1/4 of an inch border around the outside because I like it that size. Let's take this and put it on the back of that and just kind of rub it in. We're going to have enough for more than one picture. Okay. It just wants to... I think it must have got warm in here today or something. I don't know. Because it's kind of soft. And now it's wanting to stick to the paper. Okay, we're going to do this same thing, only we're going to come down a little bit further. Or up. I'm sorry, I didn't go up enough. Got to have enough space here, too, between the two pictures so you can have the mat go completely around your picture. All right, so now these are wet, but I'm going to go ahead and trim around them and let them dry that way. Now, if I were doing an album, I would be using my trimmer and everything would be perfectly straight. But because I'm not worrying about that. Now, the top is going to end up being a little smaller because I still didn't leave quite enough space. So I'm going to trim it to be the same size all the way around. Or real close. I've seen people who don't use any kind of measuring at all for their pictures. And I don't care about it being straight since we're supposed to be collaging, right? Let's do the other one. And make sure we get everything on here. Cut all the way around. Boy, that glue is moist. I feel like it probably was a little over glued because I was trying to smooth it out with all those clumps of glue. Okay, so if you look at it, it's not perfect, you know, but I am going to trim this one because it's the top, which is where your eye goes when you're looking at something. Okay, come off of there. All right, that's good enough. Now, we have used our darker pink here, so let's see what that's going to look like. Looks pretty good. So what we're going to do is we're just going to I want the big at the bottom and the small at the top. So I'm going to glue this small one, this large one down first. Okay. On this messy book. Try to get some of that glue. Try to be a little less aggressive while I'm putting it on here, because I think I was just going too fast. And it just kind of scooped it up. Okay, now I'm going to put this right here, and I'm going to lay this where I want it to go, so it kind of balances out. And you want to know that your picture is going to be straight. But if your frame is not straight, it's hard to know. You know, let me kind of hold it up and look. It's too late now. I already put it down. It's a little bit crooked. Big deal. What is it? Who is it that says, it don't matter? That's Rachel. It don't matter. It cracks. That's just really one of her words, that one of her phrases that she says just about every video. She cracks me up. She's very entertaining if you have not been to her channel. Okay. It's Roxy Creations. Rachel at Roxy Creations. Yeah, this bottom picture is slightly off. So I'm not going to worry if the top one is. Now, I'm not making this into a photo album, but I'm showing you how you could. Like, these are just copies off the copy machine. So yeah, so now we're going to do this little boy and this little girl on this blue, and we're going to try to remember to make them a pocket. They are going to become a pocket. Now I'm going to go ahead and do it just about like that. So I'll try to do this as straight as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I know you've heard me say that just a few times. Okay. All right, let's see if I can keep this down without losing part of it. Because I usually do lose part of it. I'm just not strong enough to keep the ruler down. Okay. Now, when I do photographs and so forth, I would never, ever use a ruler unless I was going for messy. Because people, I think with albums, people are more likely to want them to be straight. Now, not me personally. I don't really care. I kind of bounce them all over the place. I put them different directions. Okay. So, let's do like this. And let's try to get it about the same size. There we go. Now, I'm going to ink this picture real quick. I did not ink the mats. I just realized it. I'm telling you, Paula. I'm going to ink this one, though, because it's going to be a pocket, and I want it to kind of stand out. And I'll go back and see what I can do about these other two. Because the real reason that I think that it's important to do it like on this situation here is look how light the pink background is, and then this is a darker pink, and it would, I know that the darker on top of the light would make it pop, but it could pop even more. Look how the picture pops. That's because it was inked. And there's a couple of things that will make your picture that come to my mind right now that will make your picture pop off of whatever you've got it on. Is ink is number one for me. Number two would be pop dots or foam tape, because it kind of brings it up off the page. But in our situation, we can't do that because this is way too... Okay, I'm going to put the glue on this part. It's way too bulky as it is to be having, you know, something bulky inside the book. Just is not what we want to do at this point of the book. Now, pull it off there. I'm going to have to change pages after this, I'm afraid. And now we're going to move our book over a little bit and try to see if we can center this just a little. Let's see. Of course, using glue stick does curl whatever you're putting it on. So, I don't know how it would do on a regular photo, but I know. Now, I do have it to the left a little more than I do to the right. And I think that's okay since we're going to do a pocket. This is going to be kind of like an invisible pocket because I don't want it to, yeah, I'm going to bring it down more so we have some room for the tag or whatever to come out. Now, let me put up this book page because it is inked to the max. And it is going to tear things. Okay. I just flip it over and do it like this. Okay. Now, I'm going to move this ruler. It's in my way. Now, what do we want to do to decorate around this? That's the next question. We're going to put this down as we talk. I'm thinking it looks like something that needs some white lace or pale pink or, you know, something like that. But now you just want to put the ink where, I mean the glue where you want the book to be, the three sides you want to be holding the pocket together. So, always make sure before you put anything on something like this that's going to be a pocket that you look and make sure you've got it where you want it. Now, I'm not going for super craziness. I'm just going to glue, put this down right here, further toward the spine in this situation. You know, when I sat down here tonight, all I knew was I was going to use this paper. That's it. And that's why you can just sit down and suddenly start creating. And before you know it, you're even surprised because you don't know what you're going to, you don't have any plans. You know, so that's kind of where I'm at with this. I don't have any plans, but I know that I don't just want the images to be blah. I gotta put some flowers or something on this page, right? Let me get this glue off first because it don't take long for it to dry onto your paper. I think that's the only place it really leaked out. It was right there, and I think we're good here. These are not pockets, but this is, right? So I'm going to take my, let me get some ink on that. It's not quite on there. I'm going to separate this while I'm thinking about it. I'm really considering some lace on this portion, but I don't want it to cover their little faces. So they're already so precious. Look at them. I'm just going to ink around this because I think it blends way too much. Just going to darken it a little bit. It's not really inking, but I mean, we're not getting ink on that paper because it's, but the darkness does bring it out a little bit better. Okay. Now, I have been cutting out, I'm trying to think. Let me look. Let me grab it. I'm just grabbing a box to see what we can come up with. Now, mind you, this is one of many boxes. Because there is a bunch of boxes. Ooh, I like those on there too. We might have to put, these are dimensional, but they're not super dimensional. I'm trying to think what we could do to make, oh, this is that other picture we started to use, so we have to use this. We'll use it in this big one. Now this is what the back looks like for journaling, and this is the front. This is the very first thing I collaged, or first big thing I collaged, I'll put it that way. This is one of those seed packs that I got from Target. So it's going right here, and it has a little piece of lace right there. So I do have these flat colored flowers. I think they'll do better than this one. And I also have them in like a cream, because there is some cream back here. Excuse me. So, but we can't just slap them down on the pictures. We've got to get some, either get some lace or get some, silk, but, yes, cheesecloth. That's what I'm thinking. Not yes, but, oh my goodness. You know, your thinker stops after so long when you've had a crazy day. So I say we do, I've got white. I'm trying to decide, or do I want the tea stain? I think I'm going to do the tea stain because I think the white will just shout at you, you know, whenever you have it all put together, it will shout at you. Because, you know, inking stuff does make a difference. So let's start over here. Now I'm just thinking, let's just cut some little pieces. And when you go about decorating something like this is what I think. I kind of do it like I would do my tags. You know, so I'm going to put a little cluster down here on this right side. I'm not going to put it in toward the spine at this point because our book can't handle it. Let's see. Come on. You ever get some of this cheesecloth that just don't cooperate with you? So sometimes I have to fold it in half and just kind of wad it up. Stick it right there. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to start on this side. We're going to use pink for sure. Now we have two different pinks. And I hope these come off of here. I haven't had the best of luck. These are some I got at Michael's. I'll just tell you, I'm not overly impressed. It's almost like they glued them to, let me put our cheesecloth down here. I'm just putting a little bit in the very middle of the cheesecloth, and then I'll put some on all the petals here. They're just real, I don't know. I don't want to say cheap, because they're really cute. They could make them better. Would sell more. Because at this point I'm thinking, well, I go for looking for flat flowers so that in journals it does better. It's really cute though, isn't it? Okay, so let's go with not quite as dark. Let's go with this next one here. I think I'm just going to put, come on out of there. Every time you try to pull this off, the way they have it glued, it wants to pull off a petal. And that is irritating as all get out. At least it is for me. Okay, so I'm going to wad this up. I'm going to put some glue right here. And put it in this corner. Now, I would love to put 2 or 3. It's the reason I'm not is not because I'm cheap, but because I'm just really worried to get it too thick. Okay, now we'll put some on this. Now see, this should have gone down a little more, so I'm going to kind of you just shape it however you want it. While it's wet, that is. I do like the little stones that they have in the center of these flowers. I think they're cute. So, hang on. Here we go. Yeah. This is a little bit lighter, and over here I'm going to put one even lighter. But it's still going to be in the pink family. Oh, there it is. I was like, I know I had some more of that cheesecloth somewhere. Now, on this side, I think because it's a big picture, we really need to do, let's just do a couple. Okay, so turn it under a little bit. Kind of get it glued down. Now, here we go. We're going to put it in this corner and right here. Kind of just cover this whole little corner. And we're going to have to come up with something like a tag or something to go inside. Now I'm just spreading that over. The thing that's nice too about cheesecloth is you can stretch it. Okay, I'm getting this lighter. Oh, I think I actually tore it off the right way, but lost my rhinestone. No, I didn't lose my rhinestone. I thought I did. Let's go ahead and put this one down. You'd think they'd test this stuff, wouldn't you? They probably do, and they just don't care. Not everybody, but a lot of people, a lot of companies. They're like, if people will buy it, we will sell it. Okay, so we're going to go and go ahead and put another one right here. And I think I'm going to stick with the pink. So let's do a dark pink. I bought several of these too. I can't remember how many, but more than I want to admit, probably 4 or 5, something like that. Okay, this one is like trying to keep its life together here because it's, you know, been torn on. Everything else, it's probably not super happy. Okay, now, I think also something that would be cute. Now, see, I kind of overlapped them a little bit, and that makes them look like a couple, which I like that. Okay, so I got string from glue all over me. All right, so let's pull it forward a little bit. Move this book because I don't think we need it at this moment. And let me see what we need to do next. Let me see if I already have a tag in this color. I don't think I do, but I'm looking. If I already have one made, we will use that. But it has to be the right size. So we might want to even get another picture. That's a good idea now that I think about it. We could get another picture of Mrs. Coggs. What did I do with them? Oh, there they are. I'm like, oh my goodness, where'd my pictures go? I don't have all of her stuff cut out, but I try to keep up with all the cutting out. I don't know about you guys, Ben. Fussy cut scissors. I use, let me show. Oh, where are mine? I think I already took them in the other room. I would show you, but I don't have them right here. They're the kind you use like this instead of using like, you know, scissors. It's the ones that you hold the handles here and they open and close. And let me tell you, it makes a difference. Now, if you go overboard with your cutting, you're going to feel a little soreness right here. Oh, great. There went a bunch of stuff. Lovely. I'm not surprised with all the stuff I've got in here. See, I really did like these two mothers. We could make a card out of that. I like those. And here could be Mama and Daddy. It's more love story-like to me. But something with pinks, obviously, since that's kind of what we're doing. And really, preferably with a child. Here is 2 little girls. But it's so dark in the background. And for this particular thing, I don't want to really... There's one. We'll use this one. Isn't she adorable? Adorable. Okay, let me set this over here. Out of my way. Gonna ink it. And we're gonna put it on some text paper. And we're gonna... Of course, we're going to mat it as well. I think we'll mat it in one of the blues. Or maybe not the blues, since the pocket on that one is blue. We're going to mat it on... Let's do this. Let's do this same. But first, we got to have a little small text paper. If I can get my fingers on it. We don't want a big one. There goes my ruler. I'm not kidding you. I have so many things stacked. Excuse me a second. I have so many things stacked that there's, you know, I can't find anything underneath wherever, whatever. It's just, that's what it is. It is what it is. When you don't have too much room, you know how you outgrow it. Every time you buy something, you outgrow your room a little bit more. And I was at Cracker Barrel tonight. Of all places, we stopped by there because we just were hungry for a home cooking. So we're not going to collage this. We're just going, on the front anyway, we're going to just mat it on there and put it on the front. But anyway... And I went back to their little 40% off clearance in the corner. And they had a bird book. I about fell over. I don't have it. It's not around me. And we don't have time for me to run find it. But I'll try to remember to get it out sometime. But it was like every bird in there was a fussy cut type bird. I'm like jumping for joy. Or you could make journaling tags. What is the deal? Didn't want to tear for some reason. It's got a problem. Okay, so now what we want to do, I think this will fit right here. And then I'm just going to trim around it. That way I don't have to worry about it getting hung up. Since, you know, we're not doing major collage. I really wish this paper had been bigger. Now that I've got this one ready to mat. Because I think we need a bigger mat for this text paper. Okay, so what we're going to do because of that is we're going to pull out another, let's ink this first. We're going to pull out another piece of Artie Maze's paper. I think we'll do blue. All right. See, this isn't, everything's just fallen. It's just decided to go chaotic. Do you ever feel like that? Nothing goes right? See, this is just too small. I want the rest of this to be blue. And how I'm going to do that is just going to get my paper down here. I'm going to move my book that's in my way. Put my paper down here. You know, you could make one of these collage books be very personable. In other words, you could make it be all about your family and your animals. You could do it like a December daily, only do it once a month. You could just do all kinds of stuff. I'm going to do like this. Make sure I just have a little edge of my text right there. And tear it. Okay, and the paper over there, and I'm going to, okay, just going to trim this a little bit faster. Okay, I think we got this side a little bit too short. Watch it be really too short now, or too long, I mean. Okay, there we go. That's perfect. Perfect. And I'm going to do this right here. So I know exactly where we want to cut it. I'm going to ink it. really quickly. I'm going to do a demonstration for you guys one of these days, hopefully this week. I got some new tools to smooth your ink. I mean, now, mind you, these are for blending. So if you have a hard time with blending, these will really help you. But they're very expensive, and I was like, oh, I don't know. Do I buy those? Do I not buy those? As much blending as I do, I talked myself into it. I was like, of course I do. Okay, I'm going to put the glue. I'm not going to put it on the text paper until we have everything glued on top of each other, because it's going to get wetter and wetter as we add this stuff. And then on the back, I'll put tea-stained paper on the back, and that will be for journaling. Okay, so let me move forward and center our little girl who's, I thought at first when I saw this that she was looking for Easter eggs, but then I realized, no, she got beautiful flowers in her basket. Now, as you can see, that's crazy crooked. What did I do with my scissors? It's hard to get these down just right sometimes, because one part will stick and the other part won't. But that's fine. I mean, everything's fixable. Anyway, but she's picking roses off this bush, which I think is adorable. When we were little, if you were caught picking roses off any bush, you were in trouble. My grandma would get the whooping spoon. Okay, now we're going to glue her. We're going to flip her over, and we're going to put her on the blue mat. Then we're going to put that down on the little girl, or the text. Blech. Sorry. It's been one of those days, you know. Okay. Do it just like this. Try to get it centered this time. Pretty good, maybe. There we go. Let's see if she's crooked. Well, she's not crooked. It's the paper that's crooked, I think. Not bad. Let me look here and see if I can get it straight. Okay, that's straight enough. This one's not crooked, but now it's a little too long, so I'm trying to fix that. And when you ink on this paper and it's super sticky, let me throw this stuff out on here so I can clear this off. Got all my paper I've been trimming on here, and it's just going everywhere. Okay, so this time I'm going to put the glue straight down on this text paper and try to find a place to put the glue, the paper with all the glue on it. There is no easy way, I'm telling you. So I can leave the little edges, because remember we cut it small enough that it would not have to be all the way to the edge. But remember, if you go further out past where your picture would go, it's okay, because this glue, when it dries, it's not sticky. It's weird. You have to adhere it to something. But I have noticed, I want that on the top. I have noticed that it doesn't take much. Now, if I stood up and looked over these, none of them would have been crooked. It's just when you're sitting down and doing a video, and I can't stand through the whole thing, so yeah. So there we go. Look at the lovely little girl, how cute she is. Now, let me get my paper to go on the back, if I have any left down here. Hopefully I do. I know I have some book pages. As soon as I get my fingers on them. Unless I've used them all. Well, I'll just use this one. really doesn't matter. It's going to go right here. And actually, I'm going to do it like that. That way the whole thing will be covered. Don't look, I'm cheating. That's a collage. That's a cheat for collagers. You know, marking it so you know exactly where it's going to go. I don't mind it being using scissors on this because it's so much like doing an album. Okay, now throw this down there. Then we're going to put the glue on the back of this one. This one's going to be dripping wet when we're done. But we want to make it like a pocket, right? Okay. And we want it to all fit on here. So on this one, we do need it to be to the edge. And that's okay because we can move it over on top of what it's going to be glued on if we don't have a glue book handy. Okay. Let's see what happens. Keep your fingers crossed. All right, I should do it this way. I think it would work better to do it like that. Yeah. That way you know you're putting it over. Now, when this dries, this will be super hard. So you don't have to worry about it, you know, coming apart. Now, I'll tell you, I don't do anything like this that I don't stitch around the outer edges. And sometimes I stitch inside here. But did she not turn out adorable? Let me get a little tiny piece of something to put on the top. Now, I've got all kinds of things in this little container. I don't throw anything away. I don't think I'm any different than anybody else, but when I get done with this video, I am going to post my altered book covers. Today's the last day, and I'm not trying to win anything, but I wanted to participate, so I made a couple of them, and I've got them ready to put. I'm going to do it like the, oh crud, you know what? Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I'm going to take that off. The reason why is I'm going to have it the other direction for a towel. So we really want this to dry and then maybe powder it. This is going to be coming out of the side pocket. And I hope it fits in there. Let's see first. I didn't think about measuring that, did I? It will fit one way or the other. Yeah, it will fit this way, so it's okay to do like we were going to do. It won't fit the long way. So let's go back and put glue on here again and just make it that much wetter. Do you ever feel like you're a little bit on the loony side? That's how I feel today. Could you do anything crazier? And I got to put glue on the back side of this. I mean, not glue, but ink. And then I'll stitch around it tomorrow when it's dry, because it's super wet. You would not want to go straight to stitching on this when it's this wet. And I think I'm going to wait and ink it too, because it's super wet. I hope I wasn't off camera just then, guys. I'm sorry if I was. All right, so this little girl, let me move some things away so I don't collide into them. This little girl's going to go right here in this side pocket. This is different. I'm trying to do different. So I hope you guys had fun during this video. I hope you enjoyed the different process. We're over an hour. And I hope you'll come back to the next video. We're getting closer and closer to the back. So maybe 8 more videos. I don't know. We all agreed to do these videos. We didn't know how long it was going to take us, and we've got a lot of parts. But I think it's fun, and that's why I'm trying to come up with something a little different each time. I know it's a lot of collaging, but let me say, when we're all done, we'll all know how to collage, right? All right, guys, see you tomorrow in my next video. See you soon. Bye.